Hi everyone. So this video is based on keeping our flow around opening through the heart space. So we're going to be looking at two areas, mainly shoulders and a little bit of hip work as well. So really nice one to just open up through the chest and just let those shoulders pull back so we can really focus on keeping that nice posture in the body. So we're going to start seated with the legs crossed. So if you want to, feel free to sit on a block or just anything to cushion really. All right, so come and find your space. So just have the legs crossed and the hands resting onto your knees, palms facing up. So we want to really just have this feeling of everything opening through the body. So just close your eyes. And let's just be familiar with our space. So just have a moment to just pay attention to your surroundings. And just check in with the body as well. How are you feeling today? How does your body feel? Just take a scan from the top of your head all the way down. And just notice if the body's holding on to any tension maybe. And then just draw that focus to your breath. Take your time, just letting your breath flow in and out through the nose. Just slowing this pace down. Just find more length, more space. And just let everything else just drift away. You're just focusing on you. When you're ready, just take your right ear towards your shoulder. So you're just tilting the head to one side. Okay, and then from there, just find the other shoulder. Try and do this with the eyes closed. And then just bringing your head back to the center. Okay, we're going to take our first twist. So just bring your left hand over the right knee and just gently turn the chest and shoulders. Just notice how the back feels as you do this. Try and keep the rotation through the upper part of your body. So the hips stay nice and grounded. And then you're just going to release that twist and find that on the other side as well. Okay, and then just release. From there, take a deep breath in, lifting both arms up above your head. So you're going to keep the palms facing forward. You can let the shoulders come right up to the ears if that feels good. And then you're going to let them slide down your back. And as you do that, you're going to exhale, bend your elbows and just lift your eye gaze and chest towards the sky. Okay, so feel all the muscles in the back working here as you pull those elbows down. Breathe in, reach up. Exhale, pull them down and just lift the heart space and lift the eye gaze. And again, lift, breathe in, breathe out, pull them down. And then one more, keep them up here. And then you're going to take a side bend to the right. So just bring that hand down and just soften through the left side of your body. Really try to open up through the rib cage and just roll that shoulder back. Continue to breathe as you hold in that side bend. Okay, and then you're just going to slowly just windmill the arms and find that on the other side. really just try to have this feeling of opening through the body. And then lift. From there, take both hands behind your back. We're going to press and open the heart up towards the sky. If it feels good, take the head back. And then from there, just let the hands come forward and just take a fold over those legs, just natural. Don't force it, just let the body go. Okay, and then just walk your hands back in slowly. We're going to make our way to all fours from here. So just bring the weight into your hands and knees. So knees under hips, you want your wrists to stay underneath the shoulders. So on your first breath in, we're going to take cat and then work through to cow from there. So breathe in, open the chest, lift the tailbone up. And then as you exhale, just round through the back of the body. Hollow the front of your body there and just let the neck release. So breathe in to open and then exhale to release. So you're just working your way through these two poses, just at your own pace. So take your time, just work through the spine. If you can do this with your eyes closed, just try that. That way you can really just zone in and listen to what's going on in your body. And then you can listen to your breath a little bit more as well. So try and find that length in your breathing. Try and get your breath to flow with the movement. And if it feels good, you can start to break this mold maybe. You can take rolling cat, that feels good. Otherwise just stay with up and down. You can start to let the weight maybe transfer into the hands or back into the knees. So this is really more about feeling rather than what it looks like. Try and just push and tease into any points that might be feeling a bit tense. Okay, just take one more. Try and even out both sides. Okay, and then you're just going to take yourself back to child's pose. Just take your knees out a little bit wider, soften the hips back to your heels, and you can just let your arms reach forward, or you can rest your head onto your hands. And just stay in this pose and just focus again on just finding that length in your breath again. On your next breath in, we're going to find downward facing dog. So now bring the weight to the hands, tuck the toes to lift the knees and hips. And as it's our first downward dog, let's just spend a bit of time just moving the heels, finding some movement in the legs. Okay, because naturally the body is probably going to feel a little bit tense when we first push into that pose. So when you're in your dog, really focus on pressing deep into the, firmly through the palms and just encourage that movement, okay? Bend the knees, open the chest. Yeah, we want to focus on heart opening today. So really try to push that chest open towards the legs. And that will also help lengthen your spine as well. Okay? All right, and then from here, we're going to walk our hands back towards our feet. So we're going to take a little walk through the hands until you find a forward fold, keeping the feet hip width apart. You can find a little bit of movement here. You might want to take hold of the elbows. Just really soften through the upper back. Let the neck release and just hang. Now keep the knees soft. We're then going to slowly roll up to stand. Okay, so take your time. So your head is the last thing to lift. And then you're going to have those palms facing forward and ready to stay here and start in mountain pose. So keeping the feet apart, just spread out the toes. Just notice where the body naturally shifts. Yeah, so do you feel the weight shifting side to side, forward or back maybe? Just hold the breath, catch it here. So for our sun salutation flow, you can take the arms wide or in front depending on the space. As the palms come together at the top of your head in extended mountain, you've got an option here to find a little back bend if that feels good. If you do, drive the hips forward, and then we're going to soften down into our fold. So bend the knees and then release. From here, we take a flat back. So bring your hands towards your shins. Push against the legs. Try and lengthen the legs, lengthen through the spine, and squeeze the shoulder blades together. So then that way you're opening through the heart space here. On the breath out, you bend the knees and fold again. Then we're going to walk our hands forward. So for the first one, I just want you to bring the knees down. We find all fours. We breathe in, open into upward facing cat. Then we keep the toes tucked under to push back to down dog. Soften the knees. Walk your hands back towards your feet to your fold again. And then we roll up through the spine here. Taking the arms out. Bring them back together above your head. Exhale and let the arms go. Okay, so that's one round. So when you're ready, lift again, breathe in, back bend if it feels good, and then just exhale into your fold. Okay, breathe in, flat back. Breathe out, fold. Then breathe in, walk forwards. Option this time, take plank. Knees or toes, as you lower your body down to crocodile, push and lift into your back bend. You can stay low or come up high. Push, take downward facing dog. And then from there, walk your hands back towards your feet, to your fold, and then roll up to stand. Okay, so you're just going to continue that flow now. Just take the option that works for you. So just find that connection with your breath. Just listen to what your body wants today. Remember, we're breathing in to walk forward. We exhale to lower, and then we breathe in to find that back bend. Exhale to dog. Breathe in to walk back, exhale to fold, and then inhale to rise. So find your natural rhythm. Find the speed that works for you. Your main focus is to try and keep your movement with your breath as much as you can. There may naturally be points where your body starts to hold it. When that happens, just try and tap back in and just breathe with the movement again. Okay? So you're going to repeat this sequence just one more time. One more round. There's no rush. Got loads of time to move through it. then when you've finished, you're just going to stay standing in mountain pose, palms facing forward. Just soften the shoulders. Try and let the tension go from the upper body. Okay. So from here, we're going to lift up again. Take another forward fold. And then we're going to walk our hands forward, take downward facing dog, and just push through the hands. Okay. So from here, we're going to take a crouch, bend both knees, and then we're going to take our right foot to the outside of our right hand with the foot turned out slightly. Okay. So nice wide lunge. We're not going to be here for long, because we're then going to literally push off the back foot, step that one to the outside of your left hand, and then we take a nice deep squat. Releasing the hands off the floor, resting the forearms onto your thighs. Okay. Now here we're working through a progression to Hindi squat. So Hindi squat, if I show you from the front, your feet are out nice and wide, toes turned out. You're bending into the knees. You want to push your forearms towards the inside of your knees. So you want to push your legs out as far as you can. If anyone wants to try, you can then bring your hips down, push your elbows into your inner knees, and try and keep the spine long. Okay, so whether you're here or here, we're only going to be there for a couple of breaths. Then we bring the hands down, step back to plank, and then down dog. And then we're going to literally just repeat that again. So you're going to crouch, step wide. Doesn't matter which foot first, because then you're going to hold in that squat for a couple of breaths. Either staying up or coming down. Whichever option you're going with, try and keep that back straight. Okay, so draw the chest forward. So we're focusing on shoulders here, and we're getting a nice deep stretch in the hips as well. Okay, from here, hands come down, step back, and repeat. If you need to rest in between, just take child's pose. This section of the class is very free, okay, with timing. So just go with as many reps as you want. Rest in child's pose if you want to for a little bit longer. Another option I'm going to introduce for you guys is to add a jump into that. So from down dog, you can crouch, push through the balls of the feet, land the feet to the outside of the hands, and again you can hold here or here. Okay. Take as long as you want in this position. Yeah, focus on back alignment, chest forward. And then you could jump back, push through the hands, land the feet back, straight into down dog. Okay, so if you want to jump, you can jump. Otherwise, stay with your step. Just want you to have a few more goes at this. Okay. One more time. Gets the hips nice and warm. Gets that heart rate up. And then after that, you're just going to sit back in child's pose. So as you're there in child's pose, catch your breath. Slow that pace down again. And just let all the muscles around the hips and the legs just soften, okay? Naturally, your body might be holding on to a little bit of tension there, so try and let it go. Okay. And then from here, we're going to stay in child's pose, but we're going to take a twist. So just bring one arm through, soften the shoulder and head down to the floor. If you need to, slightly lift the hips. Try and keep them down towards your heels as much as you can. And just breathe nice and softly. Find that length again. Take your time. And then just find that twist on the other side as well. Okay, and then from there, reach the arms forward. We're going to make our way to down dog again. So you're going to bring the hips forward, tuck the toes, just lift the knees and hips. So we're going to take a lunge forward, left leg comes through, land in between the hands there, okay? So from this lunge, we're going to bring our back heel down to the floor, so the foot is flat. And the front foot toes are pointing to the top of your mat. So you want to engage through the leg muscles here. So squeeze through the back quad, squeeze through this front leg. We're then going to push through the front foot, open out, arms out wide, and then lengthen through both legs, okay? So we're coming into our triangle sequence. So from here, focus on strengthening through the lower body first. So squeezing the quads. Think about kind of pulling and pushing the mat down into the floor, okay? So you're kind of pulling it in slightly, but you're still pushing down through the feet. So you're feeling all that tension in the inner thighs and in the legs. So arms out, take this hand back. We're going to take reverse triangle first. So reverse triangle is all about finding the length from your leg all the way up through the torso towards your fingertips. We're opening up through the heart space, so roll this top shoulder back as if you're trying to get all that sunlight onto your chest. Okay, keep squeezing through the legs. And then we're going to transition into triangle from here. So your arms come back out. You're going to shift the ribcage forward. So reach forward with that left hand. Rest it down onto the shin, ankle or floor. The other arm comes up. And you're kind of finding from here, this tipping point where the other hand comes up. Shoulders are stacked in line with each other. Okay. Now this can feel intense on here, the inner thigh and on your hamstring. So if you need to, you can soften that front knee very slightly. Okay. And then again, open. So try and bring that shoulder back. Open your heart space up. Okay. And then to come out of this, we're going to bend the knee, bring the hands down, release the back heel. And you can either flow to down dog or you can just step back. So I'll show you with the flow. So you step back to plank, knees or toes, just like we did in our sun salutation. Revisiting downward dog. So that we can then just repeat that all on the other side. So we're going to bend, bring that other foot forward. Okay, back heel comes down, squeeze through the leg muscles to then push, drive through that foot and open. So setting up for reverse triangle first. Squeezing through the legs. Take your arm back, open up through the chest. So lift the heart space, lift the eye gaze. And then we take triangle, shifting the rib cage forward, find that tipping point and open your heart. And if it feels good, look at that top hand. Good. From there, find your lunge, release the back heel. You can flow again, or your other option is to simply just step back to down dog. You can have a little walk here through the heels. We're going to repeat this again on both sides. So when you're ready, left leg steps through. Heel comes down, push and open. Okay, Okay, just find that transition. Eye gaze up. Remember your flow, you can always come back to up cat as an option. Yeah, listen to what your body wants. It's not always about trying to push yourself to that max all the time. Yeah. Take your time to feel each pose, finding more length and more space. It's not just holding the pose in one place. Every breath we can explore a little bit more where we are. Whenever you've finished, just take child's pose and soften back once more. Okay, so from here, we're going to now take a seated position. So when you're ready to come up, just move the body if you need to. So for this next part then, so we're going to take half lotus and we're going to modify it to suit our body. So before we go into it with the legs, option here is to sit on something. So if you have at home, you can use a cushion, anything really. Yoga block, I would definitely suggest getting one if you ever get tightness in the hips, or just sometimes those days that you just want that extra bit of comfort. Yeah, some days I find it's quite nice to just sit on a block, and it just takes away some of that tension from the hips, and it can help really as well just lengthen that back, especially in any seated pose, because sometimes the back can naturally just start to round forward, so this help just prevents that. Okay, so for half lotus then, so we're going to have the right leg in front first, so you're just crossing the legs. Then I want you to shuffle your feet forward slightly. Okay, so try and have a bit of space between the hips and your heels. So when you look down, you want to keep the hips level and the feet just a little bit further away from them. Okay, and then from here, you can either stay in this position if that feels enough. Okay, this might be enough on your hips today, so you can just push the hands into the knees and just see what that feels like. If you want to take this a bit further, you can bring that right foot up onto the left calf. You want to flex the foot though, and try and dig the heel into that crease between the calf and the quad. Okay, sometimes feel a bit funny on that quad muscle, calf muscle. When the foot is raised, flex it and try and push this knee down. Okay, naturally what it's going to do is lift, so we want to try and push the knee down as much as we can so that we can try and level off this shin and try and keep it flat as possible. As you can see, it's not completely flat, and that's okay. Yeah, so we just want to make sure we can just hold that pose. If you want even more, you could bring that foot up onto the knee. Okay, I'm going to keep mine on my calf for this side. And again, just check the hips, make sure that they're level, and then just keep the hands on the knees there, just putting a little bit of force into that right side. Now on your next breath in, we're going to take both arms, lift both arms up above your head, and as you exhale, we're going to take a side bend to the right first. Okay, so soften through the left side of your body, open the chest, keep the hips grounded, and as you lean to this side, you might find that it helps bringing this knee down. Yeah. Just breathe nice and easy. Okay. And then on your next breath, slowly just windmill the arms over. We're going to find that side bend on the left side. As you do that, make sure your hips stay grounded. That right hip can have a tendency there to just slightly lift from the floor. So just check in. And then from here, take both arms up. We're going to hold them out into this like V shape here, all right? So palms are facing up. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let the shoulders melt down your back, eye gaze is lifted, and your chest is up. So we're opening through the heart space. Just take a deep breath in, really have this feeling of just lifting up towards the sky. And as you breathe out, this grounded feeling in the hips and shoulders. And then just let the arms go. Release by just sitting back, unhooking the leg so that we can then repeat this on the other side. So your left foot can either stay down, calf, or knee. All right, it's up to you. Just push that knee down. You may find that on one side it's very different to the other, okay? I know in my body I definitely have one better side, or should I say one tighter side. So just be patient and just try to push that knee down first, okay? And when you're ready, lift the arms. On the out breath, find that side bend to the left first. So always towards that leg that's lifted. Check in with the breath. Notice if you start to hold it, and just bring it back. And then on your next breath, slowly just find the other side. Just softening as much as you can through the shoulders. And then just inhale, slowly take the arms up, reach up. Deep breath in, lifting the eye gaze, lifting the chest. And then as you breathe out, just soften the shoulders down. Excuse the cat there. See that coming. Keeping those hips nice and grounded. They just love being involved. And then just let the arms go, okay? From there, just lean back, unhook, and just take a moment to do what your legs and hips need to do. Okay, I like to just lean back, just let the knees soften to each side. Just ease a bit of tension away from the hips, and it's nice on the back too. Okay, so from here then, let's find ourselves on the floor, lying on our back. So we want to just come on down and just let those knees come in towards your chest as you lay down onto your back. Might feel good to just find a bit of a rock side to side. Maybe just circle the knees, just soften through the hips and the lower back. Okay. All right. And from here, we're going to take our legs up. Take the feet out, flex them, and then we're going to bend our knees and find happy baby pose. So you can hold happy baby either pressing down to the inner thighs, holding onto your ankles, or hands come around the soles of the feet, and then you're going to push down so your knees come out as if you're trying to bring them towards your armpits, and then try to bring your shoulders back down to the floor as well. And just hold there in happy baby. You can be still. You might want to take a little rock and just play for a moment, yeah? So you might want to hold it or just lengthen the legs out. Maybe just stretch out the hamstrings a little bit. Maybe extend both legs out. There's no set way here. Okay, and then you're just going to release that tension. Just take a full body stretch. So just let the front of the body just open. Lengthen through the arms, reach through the toes. And then you're going to release that tension. And you can either now just lay here in lying butterfly, soles of the feet together, knees just falling out to the side. Or if that's not comfortable, you can just let the legs extend and just find another comfortable position to be in. Okay? So just choose what works for you. Just stay laying on your back. And we're just going to focus again on just letting the body wind down and just breathing. So let your eyes close. Revisit your breath. Make sure that your body is comfortable. Maybe just let the shoulders roll down your back again. And take your time to just breathe. Let your breath just flow in and out through the nose at its natural pace. Try not to let your mind wander. Just bring it back to this present moment now. Just you and your breath, breathing in the space. Can sometimes feel challenging to really just let those thoughts go. So don't worry if they come back or your mind starts to wander. Just refocus on your breathing. Just let yourself be present. And then just start to now notice your surroundings again. What sounds can you hear? What can you feel? And then just start to gradually now move your fingers and toes. Do you feel any sensations as you do this? You can start to introduce more movements, to just introduce yourself back into your space, becoming just fully aware of your surroundings now and your body. Take as much time as you need to do this. If you feel comfortable to now, just roll onto one side and just bring yourself back to seated. Hands just resting onto your knees, palms facing up. Again, just take any movements that might feel good. And then we'll take one last breath in. Just let the arms rise, bringing your palms together. Let your thumbs come down to touch to your forehead, to your lips, and then to your heart. And thank you. Thanks, everybody. So, any questions or queries, let me know as usual. And then I'll see you for the next one. Bye.